Warning, the following podcast contains adult content, adult language, and adult situations. I talk openly about sex and explicit topics. If you are under the age of 18 or are uncomfortable listening to sexually explicit narratives, please listen no further. I am not a professional therapist, counselor, or doctor. I'm just an average guy in the swinger lifestyle who likes to share his experiences. This podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Please seek a professional if you are in need of advice, guidance, or care as it relates to sexual health or alternative lifestyles. Hello again, my swinger friends. Welcome to Evan Swings, a podcast about the swinger lifestyle from the perspective of a guy in the lifestyle. That's me. I'm your host, Evan, and I am half of a lifestyle couple with my amazing wife, Eva. Thank you so much for joining me today. As always, if you are a new listener, I strongly suggest starting with my first episodes as they detail our journey into the lifestyle chronologically. Not necessary though. No context is needed if you decided to stay and listen to this episode. I'm glad you're here. Returning listeners, welcome back. Glad you are here as well. I'm going to go and I'm going to get right into it today. And I'm going to be blunt here. Eva and I are in a little bit of a rut. I'm a teacher. I'm off for the summer. And I kind of want to let loose and, do lifestyle things as much as possible this summer. The problem is the opportunities are just not there right now. I was at Walmart today doing some grocery shopping and I was ready to check out. I approached the registers and I thought, you know what? I'm usually in a huge rush and end up just going to the self-checkout. But today, I'm not. So I'll go to a register with a cashier, an actual person to communicate and interact with. So I sought out a short line with a cashier, and it was fairly busy, but I got in one line that seemed to be fairly short. There was one person checking out, almost done, and there was another person behind them with not much in their cart, and then there was me. Well, it turns out the person at the register, there was some issues. Something wasn't working right. The payment wasn't going through, or something wasn't ringing up properly. I'm not sure, but something was up, and I admit I got a little impatient. So I got out of line and went through a self-checkout register after all. When I was done, I walked past all the registers with the cashiers, and there was no one. Okay, so these are the registers that just a few moments ago, before I did my self-checkout, this is where there was a bunch of people. Like, there were lines of people. It was fairly busy. But at this point, there was no one. There were two cashiers who were just standing there, not checking out any customers. They were just standing there. And this situation made me think, it's all about timing and luck. Had I taken 5 minutes longer to shop, 5 to 10 minutes longer to shop, or 5 to 10 minutes, if I arrived at the store 5 to 10 minutes later, when I approached the registers, there would have been no lines and no waiting. It was just bad timing and just bad luck that I ended up ready to check out when several other people were also ready. And that got me thinking. This is an analogy for the lifestyle and what Eva and I are experiencing at the moment. We are in a bit of a rut. a bit of a lifestyle hole. Again, I'm a teacher off for the summer, and I want nothing more, as always, than to have a super fun summer. And being active in the lifestyle would definitely help with that. But unfortunately, Eva and I, we just don't have many options right now. Now, as you may or may not know, Eva and I focus on quality, not quantity, when it comes to the lifestyle. So during our 3 years in the lifestyle, we've never had more than like 2 or 3 regular playmate couples at once. Right now at this very moment, as I speak to you, we only have one, possibly 2 couples that we regularly play with. So we are wide open to new prospects, but we just haven't had much contact at this time. There have been times in our 3 years in the lifestyle where we have actually had too many couples, like too many options. And please don't think I'm bragging, all right? I'm not trying to toot our own horn here, okay? I'm just stating a fact. There have been times when we have had couples reach out to us, and we had lots of options, but since we had our regular 2 to 3 couples that we enjoy hanging out with, we felt like we should politely pass on them. There's only so much lifestyle that can be on our plates at once, okay? And that's for our sanity, because all that messaging and planning, it takes time, okay? It like all the I call it the courtship, where you're first communicating with a new couple, and you're learning about them, exchanging pics and things like that. That takes a lot of time. So that's for our sanity and for the respect for the other couples. Okay, we don't want to waste people's times. We want to be respectful. If we don't have time to spend time with you, if that makes sense, then we need to politely decline, okay? And that kind of sucks sometimes, because I'm sure we've passed on some fantastic couples. And I'm not the type to be really organized about it. Like I don't keep notes. Okay, we passed on this couple now, but if things die down, we got to make sure we contact this couple in the future. I'm just not that organized. So we've had to pass on some good ones. And that's just the way it is. So there have definitely been some ups and downs with this whole process. Downtime, what I mean by downtime is like when we don't seem to be chatting with anyone new, and there doesn't seem to be many prospects. Okay, so we've had that. But so far in our 3 years, when there have been downtimes, we still had our 2 or 3 regulars whom we would spend time with. Well, for several different reasons, we have lost some of our regulars. Okay, and it's nothing bad. Okay, it's all been amicable. One couple had to leave the lifestyle due to medical reasons, and another we just simply grew apart from. They live over an hour and 20 minutes away, and it seems they've decided to focus on couples that are closer to them, which I totally get. Eva and I, we want to focus on couples that are more local as well. The problem is, as I've said many times, there aren't many options for us in a small town outside of Dayton, Ohio. Okay? We just recently So we just recently lost two of our regular couples, and we're hoping to find some new ones. We did meet a great local couple whom I discussed in my last episode, I believe, if I remember correctly. The woman who helped me fulfill my two big lifestyle fantasies. So they're great, and we hope they end up becoming, quote unquote, regulars for us. But our calendars lately have not meshed with them. They haven't, just lined up. So because of all this, we are admittedly actively searching. And I've reached out to several new couples lately, but none of them have really panned out yet. And I don't want you to get the wrong idea, all right? I'm absolutely not upset about this. Like I said earlier, a lot of it has to do with luck and timing. Okay, just like with the checkout at Walmart. It's almost cyclical. And Eva and I have to just, unfortunately, wait until things come back around. And we assume that other people, like other couples, feel similarly, okay? At this moment, there are couples right now I'm predicting who are on the uptick part of that cycle. And we'll just have to wait until there are more couples available who are actively looking to meet new people. Now, all right, don't get me wrong. Okay, as I said, we have made contact with some couples. Okay, we've reached out, or they've reached out to us. It's just that we have not hit it off with anyone just yet. Okay, there's haven't been couples that have like really, grabbed our attention, and Eva and I are like, oh, we really want to get to know them, or vice versa. And that brings me to my next topic. Being in the lifestyle, it can be a lot of work. Okay, so I'm not really frustrated with the rut that we are in right now, but I am kind of frustrated with the necessary work that it will take to find new matches for Eva and myself. I mean, there's going to be time and effort to put into it. And let me further explain what I mean here, okay? Eva and I are incredibly selective when it comes to finding play partners, we'll call them, okay? Our prospective couples, they have to, well, let me go through my list here, okay? I have a mental list here. Okay, so all right, so first of all, well, number one, of course, Eva and I, we both have to be attracted to the couple, okay? So we prefer HWP people, and I suppose for those of you out there who don't know what HWP means, I should explain. And I'm just going to be blunt and honest here, okay? If you prefer HWP people, which stands for height, weight, proportional, that is a polite way of saying that you are not physically attracted to heavier people. Okay, and again, I'm just being honest and telling it like it is. Okay, that's what it means, and that's not a knock against heavier people. There are plenty of people who don't feel like height, weight, proportionality is significant to physical attraction. Okay, it's a personal preference. I'm short. Okay, I'm 5'7". Eva and I have been turned down multiple times due to my height. It's a preference. So HWP, that's important for physical attraction for Eva and myself. You don't have to be Ken and Barbie, but general physical fitness is an important component for us. when we look for new potential couples. And there are other specifics too with regard to appearance. Eva absolutely hates long or bushy beards. I wish I could show you a picture of myself, but I have a beard, but it's just above like stubble length. I keep it real short because anything longer than mine, Eva does not like. And unfortunately, there are a lot of guys in the lifestyle who have longer beards. And she also hates face and neck tattoos and ear gauges. And there's also a particular hair color she doesn't really find attractive. So yeah, we are admittedly pretty darn selective when it comes to appearance. And of course, the couple has to find us attractive too. Okay, I don't hide the fact that I'm 5'7" and bald. Okay, I don't hide that. It's right there in my profile. And I'm not in bad shape, but I'm certainly not shredded. Okay, I do not have a six pack. Okay, my muscles do not bulge. All right, I'm just like a normal guy with probably an evolving dad bod. There are a lot of couples out there who put physical requirements for not only height, but also dick size on their profile. And you know what? No one has ever said, you must have a slightly above average size dick. Or, you must be shorter than 5'8". No. The ones that have those male physical requirements, it's always the opposite, of course. Okay? They want the bigger dicks, the taller guys. Oh, and some have even required, I've seen profiles that have required body shaving. Okay? They wanted no body hair. And I trim, I do, a lot, but I don't shave every inch of my body. All right, so that was one thing. Let's see, what other things are on our list that are requirements for us in other couples? Driving distance. Okay, we don't want to meet people who live 3 hours away. Okay, we don't have the time for that. And I admittedly do not enjoy traveling. Let's see, what else? The woman in any couple we're looking for has to be bi-curious or bi-comfortable. Eva enjoys playing with women, so she has mandated that all couples I reach out to, the lady has to be at least bi-curious. And of course, for me, the dude has to be straight because I am 100% straight. So, I mean, I guess, the dude can be bi in some way, but I would not be interested in intentionally touching or being touched by another man. That's just the way I am. Let's see, what else? The couple has to be non-smokers, drug-free, disease-free. Those are obvious, I know, and I probably didn't even need to say them. Here's another one. So Eva does not get involved in chatting over text, until, like using Kik or Telegram, until we have all met in person and she knows that she is truly interested in the couple. So that's another requirement. Okay, the couple has to be okay with me doing all the communication until we meet. And admittedly, there have been couples who were not okay with that. So there's a lot of requirements here that these couples have to meet. Another one is, I'm going to call it uncomfortable stuff. There can be no uncomfortable stuff. And what I mean by that is the couple can't be wanting like hardcore bondage or pain or dominance, that sort of thing. And then there's some other uncomfortable things I can think of, like things that are red flags to us, like, I live in Cincinnati, my boyfriend lives in Chicago, but we still want to get together. Something like that. Stuff like that doesn't seem stable or legit, so we kind of stay away from that. But then there is also another huge one, okay? This one is huge. Any couples that are interested or that we might be interested in, they have to enjoy one or both of the following: dancing or playing games. Eva has learned over her time in the lifestyle that those two things really, really get her motor going. So if you're not interested in dancing, or you're not willing to play some board or card games with us, then you're not a match for us, okay? And by games, I'm referring to, like, playing a game of spoons, or strip poker, or just something like that. So, Eva has said numerous times that I can't just walk into a room with a couple and start fucking them. There needs to be some build up for her. And I think we've actually discussed that in a previous episode. So those with those two specific requirements, it has made finding new potential couples very difficult. And regarding dancing, we don't live near a lifestyle club. We have to travel, and that makes things more expensive and more time consuming. As I've mentioned in other episodes, we're most interested in finding local couples right now. And, since we can't say, hey, let's meet at the lifestyle club down the street and dance, that kind of leaves the board and card game option as the main thing. And let me tell you, there are most likely a lot of couples out there who are turned off by something as nerdy as that. Like if we talk about how we love board games and card games, I don't know. I just don't feel like many people find that very appealing. Okay. Now let me also say that they're missing out. Okay. Because we have turned many normal games into naughty ones. The card game spoons, we've changed to strip spoons. And there is another board game that I like called Ticket to Ride that we've changed to Strip It to Ride. And then our most recent addition is Sleazy Parcheesi. Parcheesi is a classic game. It's similar to Sorry if you've never played it before. And we've always enjoyed it. We learned how to play it in college, believe it or not. And we came up with rules to make it X-rated. It's a lot of fun. All this, again, because we are not the meet and fuck type of couple, okay? We insist on a vanilla first date to see if there's chemistry. And even if there is immediate chemistry, we still schedule a second date for the spicy fun. I will admit something here, listeners, okay? This is mostly because of my wife's preferences, all right? I mean, I'll just say it. I don't need the dancing. I don't need the games. I enjoy them, but I don't need them. And admittedly, if Eva was a meet and fuck type of person, then I would have absolutely no problem doing that. We have made these requirements for new couples mostly out of respect for her and her wishes. If we met a couple for dinner and everyone was attracted to each other and everyone was feeling it, I would have no problem saying, okay, well, why don't we let's move this to a hotel next, or I would even let's go hop in the back of the SUV. I'd even do that. But unfortunately, Eva is not like that at all, and I need to respect her wishes. Unfortunately, respecting her wishes and requirements, that has made it more and more difficult to find couples. Now, I am re-realizing, I hope that's a word. I'm re-realizing this as we are attempting to meet new couples again. All right. There was a time when we weren't interested in meeting new couples. We had our favorites, we had our regular couples that we spent time with, and that was pretty much it. I wouldn't even get on SLS or SDC. But now that I'm actively trying to find new potential dates for us, I realize just how frustrating it can be and how time consuming it can be. Case in point, okay, 2 weeks ago, a couple contacted us on SDC. Both of them were super hot. Okay, Eva and I were both very attracted to them, and that doesn't happen all that often. And they were local too. They lived in the Dayton area. So we chatted for a few days, then decided to go out to dinner. Okay, again, because they were fairly local, we can just do like a weeknight. It was easy for us to get together. Well, we met them for dinner, and it was quite obvious that they did not meet our social requirements. I don't know what else to call them. They were not the types to play games. They were not the types to go dancing, and they just didn't fit with what we were looking for. Well, again, Eva's requirements. All right, the three of us. I mean, we were ready to go. Okay. But Eva, despite being very attracted physically to them, had no interest in a second date. It's this whole process that's just starting to wear on me. Okay, you put your profile out there, you wait for people to like your profile or you like their profile. You wait a little bit more. And this you wait and see if you're a match on one of these sites. And if so, then you begin chatting. Then you exchange more pics to make sure there is physical attraction. Then you chat some more. Then you have to figure out a date to meet for a vanilla meet and greet. So you get everyone's, you take into consideration everyone's work and family schedules. And if that works out, then you have to find a restaurant. Eva has many food sensitivities, so there are only certain places she can eat. So we are usually the ones responsible for finding that place to meet. And because we live in small town Ohio, we have to coordinate where to meet. What's about the halfway point between us. So we have to figure all that out. Then we have the meet and greet, and as I just hopefully proved a minute ago, there's no guarantee that will even work out. If it doesn't, then you're back to the drawing board. If it does, then you have to go through the whole scheduling process again to find a VFF and figure out babysitting, because most couples that we meet, they have kids. Thankfully, ours are older and we don't have to worry about that much, but it's a factor. Okay. Oh, by the way, I did a second ago, I said VFF. If you haven't listened to previous episodes, VFF is venue for fucking, a place to actually do it. Okay. All right. So anyway, so all this, it's taken a toll on me lately, and I just don't have as much enthusiasm for it. I absolutely love being in the lifestyle, and I don't want to leave it, but I just wish it was easier. I wish it was less time consuming. Unfortunately, with our requirements or our criteria for new couples, it makes it very difficult. If it was as simple as, hey, we think you're hot, you think we're hot, let's fuck, then it wouldn't be an issue at all. But since that's not the way we operate, there's a vetting process that we have to go through. And since Eva refrains from using sites like SLS and SDC, that burden falls upon me. And I hope you don't think that Eva is being unreasonable. All right, this was our agreement when we first got into the lifestyle. If she was going to do this, I would handle all the initial messaging and all the vetting. I agreed, she agreed, we agreed. Okay, so I completely accept that this is my job to handle if we are going to remain in the lifestyle. I just can't deny the fact that I'm growing a little tired of the process, and it's a necessary process. I'm well aware. I just wish it was easier, and I wish it didn't take so much time. And again, I go back to the fact that we live in small town Ohio. I have no data to back this up, but I assume that couples who live in larger cities have less frustration when it comes to all this. There's a larger pool of candidates to choose from due to the higher population. And you have lifestyle clubs in your city. There are more location options for meet and greets. And because you are all in that larger metro area, there's far less travel to worry about. I got so frustrated with all this that I admit yesterday I found myself wondering, do I really want to stay in the lifestyle? At this very moment, like I said, we only have one couple that we regularly play with. And there's that other local couple that I mentioned in my last episode that hopefully becomes a regular couple for us. We've only met once so far, all four of us. So we're hoping that will continue. So let's just say we have two couples right now that we regularly play with. I was thinking, you know what? Maybe I just stop trying to meet other couples and just enjoy what we have with these two couples. And that was yesterday. Still considering it today, just because, just so much frustration and the whole courtship and vetting processes. Now, I know myself, all right? I love the lifestyle, and I don't think I'm truly ready to call it quits, okay? I'm really not. I'm more or less saying all this out of frustration. So I guess my point, if I really want to stick to my guns here and claim that this podcast is designed to not only entertain but to help inform about the lifestyle, I guess my point is that the lifestyle can be frustrating at times. You may have ruts or funks like the one Eva and I appear to be in right now, but it is cyclical and things can turn around in a flash. That's all I got for today's episode, folks. Thanks for tuning in. I'm getting closer and closer to having a call-in episode where listeners can call in and ask questions and make comments and tell their own stories and just, chat about the lifestyle with me. It would be very easy for me to set that up. All right. Like I'm a novice with all this technology stuff, but I figured out how to do that, and it's very easy to do. But I don't want to set it up and have no one call in. So I want to ask you this. If that is something that interests you, please shoot me a message on Kik or Instagram. I can let you know about some potential dates for doing that, for recording that episode. It will most likely be a few weeks from when you're hearing this episode, but let me know. Let me know if you're interested, and I may put that on the schedule. And even if you're not willing to join me for an episode, you're always still welcome to hit me up with questions or comments or suggestions. Again, just find me on Kik or Instagram at my username, Evan Dienson. That's EvanDeanson, Evan Dienson. Or you know what? I've never thrown this out there before, but I also have an email address you can reach me at, evandeenson@gmail.com. And that's an account I set up specifically for lifestyle stuff like this. So I don't check it as often as I would my regular email address or my Kik or Instagram. But if you are patient, you can reach me there as well. So I hope to hear from some of you guys. Take care, everyone. Be safe, be naughty, and we'll see you next time on Evan Swings.